Good morning and welcome to the Sunday Business Page. I'm John Delano. This morning, a special interview with the superintendent of the Pittsburgh Public Schools, Dr. Anthony Hamlet. We'll be talking about the increasing importance of school security in the wake of so many school shootings in America, and the new agreement between the school district and the Pittsburgh Federation of Teachers and the Summer Dreamers program. We'll introduce you also to Juan Lacey, a man who wants to bring farming and agriculture to McKeesport. The story of Mon Valley aquaponics. It's all next right here on the Sunday Business Page.
This is the Sunday Business Page on KDKA-TV.
And a very good morning to you. Thanks for spending part of your Memorial Day weekend with us. These are tremendously difficult days for those who are part of this country's educational system. The Washington Post reports that there have been more school shootings in the United States so far this year than deaths in the U.S. military. How have these shootings affected teachers, students, and school administrators in the Pittsburgh Public Schools? Just one of the many questions that we'll be asking Dr. Anthony Hamlet, Superintendent of City Schools. We welcome him back to the Sunday Business Page. Dr. Hamlet, always great to have you on the show.
Always great to be here, John. Thank you.
Well, thank you. You know, it's always tough to start off on a subject that has been so deadly to so many of our children across America, and that, of course, is the issue of school safety and the shootings, and most recently in Texas. So, Anthony, let me just ask you point blank: are the schools in Pittsburgh safe?
Yes, I would say our schools are safe, but let me say one thing first. And my heart goes out, prayers, condolences, sympathy goes out to Santa Fe High School. My heart goes out in support to Dr. Lee Wall, superintendent of Santa Fe High School, and that community, the parents, the students, the faculty and staff. Tragic incident. But yes, you know, our schools are safe. But can it be better? Yes, of course. And we're in constant embracing this notion of continuous improvement as we look at our safety and what we have provided, but also continue to make it better over time. As technology comes out, as conversations are had, as situations happen, we always want to go back to the table and look at our safety measures and make sure they're appropriate for our schools.
Every time one of these incidents happen, of course, we get worried about our own kids and our own school systems, and we've got many in this region, not just the Pittsburgh Public Schools, although you are the biggest. When you see an incident like this, does that cause you to go back and re-look at security measures and think, how could we have prevented that happened at Santa Fe from happening here in Pittsburgh?
Absolutely. That's one of the things our crisis response team that they do. They have this conversation about when incidents happen, they bring it to the table and have a conversation about, hey, what if this were us, or how can this have been prevented? So that's one thing that we continually do. We continue to look at those situations and make sure that we apply that to our current state, but also making sure that we change our desired state of increased security.
What about metal detectors? I know you have metal detectors. I don't know how widespread they are in the city school systems, but I know you have them in some of the high schools.
Yes, they're in the majority of our schools. The majority of our schools have metal detectors and security guards.
That's grade school as well as the middle and high schools?
Yes, it is. And matter of fact, we just added 5 security guards and metal detectors in some of our elementary schools that didn't have them previously. So eventually we want to make sure that gets to all of our schools at some point. But there are a few that don't have them right now.
Do the metal detectors work? Are you picking up things?
Yes, we are picking up things. The metal detector works, students and parents are really understanding the appropriateness of that, but also they feel safe coming into their school. We have kids coming in and say, I feel safe at my school because I know there are no weapons and guns in this school because everybody goes to the metal detector.
Does that include teachers and staff and everybody else?
Yes, everybody goes to the metal detector.
So there's no escaping the metal detector as you enter a school.
Absolutely.
You know, because I think that a lot of the suburban schools have not gone with metal detectors, and maybe that's would you recommend it?
Yes, I recommend it, and especially it's really important for us because currently right now our police force do not have weapons. So this is an added safety measure that supports picking up those weapons when they come or if they try to come into our schools.
Well, let me ask you about that because that was another one of my questions, the role of guns in school safety. From your standpoint, you say that your security guards are not armed?
Security guards are not armed, nor are police officers either. So we have security guards and police officers as well.
But they're not armed in the Pittsburgh Public Schools.
No.
Should they be?
Right now, based on context that they have right now, I would say no. But also, again, we're also going back to the table, and I'm having a conversation with the board, but also with our police chief and our chief operations officer about now what is this last incident. Re-looking at if this is possible or not.
Why would you say no? Because I'm not talking about teachers at this point or school administrators. I'm talking about the security guards. Shouldn't the security guards and the police officers, I guess they're called resource officers.
Yeah.
Shouldn't they be armed?
Yeah. Under the context, my understanding right now, I would say no, because look at our safety. Our safety right now, our incidents that have not happened right now, and the way we're actually working our system right now. So it really truly makes a difference right now, and we haven't had that situation where it's prompted to make sure that we get guns. But also, we read the research. Research says that even having guns is a hard deterrent for this actual activities or these active shooters coming to your school.
Right. And so do you feel the same way about school teachers being armed? There's all, there's
absolutely.
this controversy.
School teachers should not be armed.
Even if they want to be?
They should not be armed in public schools.
We had, and of course, and the same would be true for yourself and other school administrators.
Absolutely.
We did have this incident not long, I guess this past week, where a mother had a handgun in her purse and with a 3-year-old child and came into a school in Pittsburgh. And I guess she opened the purse or the kid opened the purse. I don't know the details here. But, she was lawfully carrying a gun. She had a permit to do that. But are you allowed? You're not allowed to bring guns on the school property,
You're not allowed to bring guns on the school campus. You're supposed to leave it in your vehicle or however it means you came there, but you should not bring it into public schools.
Right. Yeah. Are there other measures that schools can take? For example, I assume you're familiar with ALICE.
Yes.
And I can never remember the acronym, but it basically it's a method by which if a shooter enters your school, how the teachers, the administrators, and the students are supposed to react when that happens. Is that a part of the Pittsburgh system?
Yes, it is. So I know you're going to ask me that question. So ALICE is an acronym for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate. It's a process that the school goes through and the personnel and the students go through if that active shooter should come onto our campus.
I'm glad, Dr. Hamlet, you're the one who knows what it stands for. I tell you, one of the things, I've done some stories on this that really intrigued me was the notion that if you have an active shooter come into your classroom and you can't hide, that what you really need to do is to throw things or attack the shooter. Disable. Well, you may not be able to disable him in taking his gun away, but you can distract him in such a way that it might save lives. Do we actually teach our students and our teachers how to do all of these things that the ALICE program would suggest?
Yes, I mean, we take them through the protocol, but of course, any instance is the first thing is find safety. Find safety is the first thing, but this is all part of ALICE training. So they go through certain protocols, certain situations, what's the best case scenario to do in certain situations. And again, we want to make sure that our students are informed, our faculty and staff are informed about appropriate procedures and ways that they, if this does happen, that they can save lives and save their own lives.
I mean, I think the ALICE program is very interesting, and I've watched some of the videotape training and the notion, you're absolutely right about alerting, alert where this shooter is. So everybody in the whole school system knows where he is. And then, of course, the notion of throwing textbooks at the shooter, that sounds like a pretty last resort.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And hopefully we don't want it to get to that point.
No, exactly. Well, Anthony Hamlet, Superintendent, we've got a lot more to talk about. I'm glad you're sticking around for another segment. Let's talk about some of the good things that are happening at the Pittsburgh Public Schools.
Let's do it.
Stick with us. We'll be right back.